Welcome. I'm Carlos Rodriguez with Kilgore and Rodriguez in Marietta, and I'm delighted to have with me candidate for Superior Court Judge in Cobb County, Angela Brown. Welcome, Angela.
Hello. Thank you. Hello.
How are you? You staying safe?
I am. We're all in here together enjoying each other.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you for your time. I want to give folks that don't necessarily know you an opportunity to get to know you and hear a little bit about you. Obviously, I'm a colleague of yours in the defense bar and know of you as an assistant magistrate here in Cobb County, but please go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers and voters of Cobb who may not know.
Okay, I will. First of all, let me just say thank you guys for doing this because I think it's really important that people get to see us and get to hear from us and have something other than just a name on a piece of paper to make a decision by. So I'm Angela Brown. To the voters, would love to have your vote and your support. I am married to Felipe Brown. He's a law enforcement officer. We've got 3 kids. 2 daughters who are college age, and we have a son who's in elementary school. And then we've got 2 fur babies, Thor and Loki. You might hear Thor barking in the background because he's not allowed in while we're recording. I went to undergrad at Brown University, graduated from there, went to University of San Diego for law school. I'm currently in a master's program in Duke, and I'm an assistant. I've been assistant district attorney. I've done a lot of work in, different areas of the law. And right now, I have my own criminal defense firm and family practice, and I am an associate magistrate judge in Cobb County.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you again. Now, this is a criminal justice chat, so I want to talk to you about a couple of criminal justice topics.
Okay.
First one that is kind of near and dear to me as a model and legend in the legal community was the late Justice Harris Hines. Now, he would often say that a Superior Court judge is the most powerful person in the state of Georgia. How would you wield that kind of power in a criminal case?
I think it's important to understand what that power is and where it comes from.
Sure.
Power to me means, when you're trying to change a person's actions or if you're trying to change a course of conduct. And that's what Superior Court judges do. Our job is to ensure that we are the referees in the legal system. In the courtroom, we are trying to make sure that everyone is on the same playing field of fairness and justice. And I think when one has that power, you have to really understand the power comes from the people. The power that you have is determined by the Constitution. And I say it's like a grate. I use that example often. When you have a grate or a filter, you pour water through the filter and the grate stops all of the gook and the dirt and things that shouldn't go into the water. And then it allows the water to pass through and be more pure, allowed to do what the water's supposed to do. So for me, that's what we as judges do. We are grates. We are filters in the courtroom. And our job is to make sure that some of the things that, that are not supposed to get through, don't get through. Power is about determining how you're going to have the courtroom run, how you're going to treat people. The source of it is always from the people. It's a people-driven service, so as you understand that you're not giving in to other interests. The power comes from being elected by the people to do things in this courtroom to make sure that we're not just a legal system, but we're a justice system. So things like, making sure that both parties have done what they're supposed to do under the law. Making sure discovery is given when it's supposed to be given. Making sure that people who are sitting in the jail are not lounging in the jail and the case is not moving. That's what the judge is supposed to do. And you can either be someone who is compassionate and circumspect about that power, or you can be a bully from the bench. And I think that, it comes from what your filter is composed of. So my filter is, I'm a mom. And so I have that experience and I look at things from the bench through that filter. I'm also married to a law enforcement officer. So we have conversations about his work and I get to see that side from a different angle. I bring that filter in. Being able to be a criminal defense attorney and a prosecutor as well, both sides, I'm able to bring that into the filter. And that's what we want in judges. That's what I do now as a judge. That's what I plan to do as a Superior Court judge, is to bring all of those filtering elements that I have that are unique to me, that allow me to, handle cases in a more just and equitable way.
Okay. Now, in talking about your filter and your perspective, I'm curious as to how your perspective, your filter, how that would apply to wrongful convictions. And what I'm talking about are the spotlight that films, documentaries, podcasts, newspaper stories, and investigative journalism, we hear about wrongful convictions. How can your unique filter on the Superior Court bench prevent a wrongful conviction from happening here in Cobb County?
And when we think about these wrongful convictions and I see them, I hear about them, I experience them, it makes me very angry. I get mad and it causes me to really look at myself and say, what can I do? How can I act so that this does not happen again? The idea of watching the movie and the series about the Central Park Five really upset me, because again, it comes down to that filter and that grading system. The judge is as the person who's supposed to make sure fairness is happening. You have the opportunity to either look the other way or do the right thing. And I think it comes down to, you have to be courageous to do the right thing always. You hear about those things all the time and think, oh, it could never happen, in our county, but it could. And the reason that I will make sure that it doesn't happen in my courtroom is because I'm constantly looking at what are my actions? How can I make sure that, again, everything that's supposed to be fair and equitable is happening? So running the courtroom, talking about the motions, making sure the parties on both sides are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I say this all the time. I have been in so many trials as a defense attorney where at the last minute, right before trial, the state has some discovery item that's crucial to the case that they have had for 2 years. And they've known about it for 2 years, but I get it 2 days before trial. That's just not fair. It's not what the system was set up to be. So I think you have to be able to take a stand and be courageous as a judge and do what's right. If you had it and you didn't turn it over, the law says you're supposed to turn it over 10 days beforehand, then that may be something that's going to be suppressed, so that, again, you're changing how people look at the system, how people act within the system, so that the next time that won't happen. If you know that something is not being done correctly as a judge, it is your job to throw in the yellow flag and say, hey, penalty on this team or penalty on that team, and throw the penalties in an equal manner.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure hearing your thoughts and perspective on the criminal justice system. I want to give you the last word to address the viewers and voters of Cobb.
Well, I love the whole chat thing. I'm really, again, appreciative of that. Welcome to Shay Brown. I would want to ask the voters of Cobb County to vote for me on May 19th. I think it's time that we have a judge who has a diversity of experience, who can bring courage and I'm not sure the word I would think would be, courage and integrity, and a fierceness to the bench, where people can feel like they're going to come in and they're going to get a fair trial from the judge, a fair movement of cases from both sides from this judge. So I hope that you'll vote for me on May 19th. And thanks again.
Absolutely. Well, that was Angela Brown. She's joining the law firm of Kilgore and Rodriguez with this criminal justice chat. And I'm Carlos Rodriguez. Thank you again.
Okay. Bye-bye.